Most people are asleep. Most people follow the crowd. Most people engage in the kind of rat race. Most people, really don't trust themselves enough to follow their own gut instinct, especially if it doesn't align with what society expects from you. Go to school, go to college or uni, get a job, stay in that job. And it's basically, you're just hopping from one authority to the other. Most people do what they're told to do. There is messaging, the experience, certainly for me anyway, I'm sure it's the same for other people, messaging from people in your life, schools, society, that plant little messages of doubt in your brain. Like, oh, are you sure you want to do that? Isn't that a bit risky? People who are following the crowd, who do what everybody else does, they're going to be bewildered by your desire to do something different. They can't understand how you could possibly do something different or how you would want to do something different. Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're doing well today. I have got a very raw video today talking about how you're going to get to where you want to be, how you're going to stop holding yourself back, how you're going to remove those barriers that are stopping you from getting the success, getting the fulfillment that you're looking for. I do believe that listening to other people and following everybody else's guidance is keeping you stuck, is keeping you unfulfilled, is keeping you at a place where you're not living in your true purpose. So we're going to get into it today. And this is something that I actually have very recent first-hand experience of. I used to listen to other people quite a lot. I didn't trust myself. I'm still a recovering people pleaser, so I often find it really hard to trust myself. But the more I practice trusting myself, seriously, the more successful I have become. And I want to get into the kind of specific things that you can clock onto and like acknowledge or realize that are holding you back. And once you know what those things are, you can start to, take the steps to dismantle those things, to avoid those things, to not listen to those people, whatever it might be, to get to where you want to be. Most people probably have a desire to do something different, but don't have the confidence, don't trust themselves enough to go against what society expects of them, because it's risky. If you pursue a career that doesn't have like a solid income, like a regular salary, it's considered unsafe, it's considered a risk, it's uncertain. But when you actually kind of delve into uncertainty and just understanding of like spirituality as well, there is no such thing as certainty. There is no such thing as security. It is an illusion. It is an illusion that capitalists or capitalism tells you to make you stay in a certain place. So for example, I'm sure many of you experience if you're in a 9 to 5, I certainly did. I used to work quite hard for the company. I used to make a lot of effort. I used to kind of put my heart and soul into it. I would think that my higher ups or my bosses or whatever gave a shit about me. They don't. When you realize this, you realize not only do they not care about you, but they're willing to get rid of you like that. They're willing to allow you to be miserable at work, by not promoting you, by giving you a lower salary, by making excuses not to give you a better working environment or working salary or whatever it is. You will start to resent your company and you'll start to feel unsafe. You'll start to feel uncertain. You'll start to think, I don't really want to stay here. This is what I'm giving 40 hours of my life to per week, to a company that has shown me time and time again that they don't care about me. And that creates this uncertainty within us because we kind of realize fuck, if I stay here, I'm going to be miserable. But if I leave, I'm going to be uncertain again, or I'm going to be unstable again, or I'm going to have to look for another job. That's the illusion of the 9 to 5. We think that it's stable, we think that it's certain, and it's kind of not. It's either, if you're not getting fired, you're becoming uneasy and feeling unstable and thinking, I've got to move on, or if I don't, I stay here and continue to be miserable, which is also a very unstable, stress-inducing place to be in. There is simply no such thing as stability. It is an illusion. Things are always changing. That is the one constant in life. Things are always changing. This idea that people telling you, we'll get a job, do this, there's stability there, it's bollocks. It's not, it's made up. It happened to me, at the beginning of this year. I got made redundant like that. I came into the office at 9 and left 15 minutes later after being made redundant. There's no security, there's no stability, and I thought I was doing well in that job. I was working as hard as I could, I was giving as much as I could to that company. Going back to this idea of being stuck, the reason you might feel stuck is you're not making a decision. the reason why you feel uneasy and stuck and like, you know, you've got nowhere to go is because you need to just make a decision. You either need to make a decision to stay or you need to make that decision to go. It's causing you this like internal turmoil that's leaving you in this space of feeling like, I don't know what to do, I'm like paralyzed. The moment you make the decision, and the moment you make the decision, in my opinion, based on your purpose, based on what you truly love, based on what is going to make you happier, the better. Throughout my journey, I've had 3 corporate jobs, and that is something that I felt like after uni, I was like, no, I'm going to be a YouTuber, I'm going to go and move to Berlin, I'm going to become like a business person and stuff. Through the messaging of society, through everybody, seeing everybody else in my life, like getting jobs, moving to London, moving to Manchester, even like my parents, you know, they were kind of, I think they're naturally in their brain, the natural step would be for me to get a job. So that's what they encouraged me to do. And I never even thought to myself, fuck, this was like never my plan. It only when I got to like my second corporate job and I was like, wait a minute, is this what my life's going to be, first of all? And second of all, like, this is not even what my plan was. This is not even what my, you know, my purpose was. It's not what I set out to do. But it's because of like fear and like seeing other people, you know, getting jobs and thinking, fuck, that's the right path for me, that's what I should be doing. And then obviously having like my parents encouraging me to do the same. And then obviously having society, you know, giving us subtle messaging over the course of our lives that following a path such as entrepreneurialism is like, or, you know, even like an influencer, creator, content creator, you know, artist, any of those things, which by the way, those are my natural talents, that they lie in creativity, is not a stable path, is not a path that is gonna guarantee that income. And yes, okay, it doesn't guarantee an income, perhaps initially, perhaps for a period of time, but eventually it will. You know, it's just you gotta stick at it. And I just kind of wish that when I was at uni, I had sort of understood the fact that this is all messaging and really thought, right, at uni, I have to bomb it out with like making sure I set myself up really well for when I finish uni, so that I can pursue business, which is what I do now. But it took me like an extra year to realize that. And going and being in corporate and doing what everybody else I feel like at the time did, you know, post uni, it was really valuable because it taught me what I don't want to do. It taught me what makes me feel unfulfilled. In every single three corporate jobs I had, in every single one of them, I resisted it in some way. I wasn't even like deliberate. And I should have clocked onto this like the first job I had, but it took 3 to realize like corporate's not for me. Listening to other people or following a path that doesn't feel comfortable and right for you is keeping you stuck. I don't know, obviously you would have seen, as we all experienced in COVID, people were like working, grinding, and then suddenly the whole world came to a halt in March 2020. And for that period of time when everybody was on furlough, and everybody had like a break to just breathe, especially like, it didn't affect me so much because I was still at uni and like a lot of Gen Z kids, but it was like probably mind-blowing for millennials and anybody above that, because they were like, finally I can breathe. And people started their own businesses, people started pursuing what they truly love, people started baking, people started growing plants, like people started really like living in their purpose and living in their true passion. And loads of people never went back to work, and they probably, you know, COVID helped them, even though obviously it was awful for so many reasons. It actually got a lot of people unstuck. It kind of like opened up this veil. It kind of lifted this veil of like, you know, we don't actually have to do this to survive. We don't actually have to do this in order to get what we want to do. We can start businesses. We can become self-sufficient, and we can thrive more. You know, more and more of us are becoming entrepreneurial. More of us want to do our own thing. You know, influencers, creators. You know, we want to work for ourselves. And I think that was because of the realizations people came to, this shift that people experience in like the collective consciousness, that fuck, we don't need to like be selling our souls, and we don't need to be like breaking in our backs in order to like have a nice life, in order to, you know, have abundance in our life. Leading on from, you know, starting to pursue something that you truly want to pursue, or going against the grain already, or doing something that kind of leaves you more fulfilled, is that you need to expect to be questioned at every point. So your resilience needs to be so much higher than what anybody can say. And by the way, this takes time. You know, like I said, I didn't trust myself when I was like 23 coming out of uni, and it's taken me a year to get out of corporate, and another year to trust myself and build up my resilience and build up my ability to take calculated risks to the point where now I am obviously, you know, full-time entrepreneur, full-time creator. Along that road, I have been questioned more than I can explain, or more than I ever in my entire life. I've created these manifestation and wellness journals, and people are like, is there even a market for this? How many of these have you even sold? You know, how are you going to really make enough money from this? And it's like, because you have a bigger vision, because you have a bigger picture of where whatever you're trying to pursue is going that other people can't see, it's like they're coming from a place of like not understanding the whole picture. So listening to them and like listening to them questioning you is so fucking pointless, because they can't see the big picture that you can. I've been questioned on like, you know, oh, Hattie, shouldn't you be like getting a full-time job so that you can make enough money to then start a business? Or aren't you taking a bit of a risk here? You know, what if it doesn't work out? You know, in my brain, there's not even an option that it doesn't work out. And you've got to like build up to a point where there's not even a possibility of it not working out. Honestly, when someone says that to me, it just goes straight over my head, because I'm like, it is going to work out. That I know it is, because I can see it. I can see it in the future. I know it's there. I've just got to keep going. But they can't see that. So they are going to question you. That's just one aspect of them wanting to question you. You know, they can't see the bigger picture. And expect people to question you, not just because they can't see the bigger picture, but also because they're projecting. They can't imagine doing what you do. They can't imagine pursuing a goal, taking a risk, going against the grain, and following their purpose wholeheartedly and truly like you can. And in order to make themselves feel better, they're going to question it. They're going to find loopholes. They're going to nitpick, because that makes them feel validated in their own choice to stay where they're at. That validates their existence. That validates their choice to stay exactly where they are. And you reflect back to them, you remind them, you demonstrate to them so clearly what they're not doing, what they could be doing, and what they're not. And that's uncomfortable for them. So what are they going to do? They're going to question it. They're going to be like, are you sure? To try and plant little seeds of like doubt in your brain so that you can come down to their level. Just don't listen to them. Please, for the love of God, if the only thing you do or you learn from this video, do not listen to anybody. Only listen to your gut. Only listen to your heart. And again, yes, take calculated risks. Take calculated leaps of faith. Don't do it blindly. You know, you've got to think it through a bit, but don't listen to people questioning you. They do not know your experience. They do not understand your bigger vision. You know, they're going to be the first people to be like, oh, well done. Like, you've smashed it. Like, I knew you were going to be big. They are going to be the first people to congratulate you and be like your supporters when things go well for you. I don't know. Whatever, that's a side note. It's important to have that courage, and it's important to have that bravery when it comes to pursuing your goals, because you will be the only person eventually, or at a point where you're the only person that believes in you. I still sometimes feel stuck, you know, I'm like, do you think this is like a good idea? I'm kind of like running out of cash for this particular thing right now. Oh God, maybe I should get a job because it will just like alleviate things for a bit. And the only time I feel stuck is when I have those doubts. Every other time when I'm feeling like, you know, I'm on it, I know what's up, like I know I'm working towards something, I know this is gonna work, I don't feel stuck. I feel like liberated. I feel like, you know what, this is my purpose, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. You know, I feel free. And I think that's really telling of like the exact sort of thing you should be working on, which is learning to trust yourself and learning to back yourself. Even if you're the only person in this world that knows what's going to happen, like knows you're going to get somewhere, knows you're going to fulfill your purpose, that's okay. That is probably one of the strongest places you can get to as a human. If you can get validation from yourself internally, predominantly, you're fucking chilling. You're going to get to where you want to be. And that's why learning to trust your gut and like learning to trust your intuition is so important, because it will tell you things that you can't put together logically and like with your five senses right now. And sometimes we think, oh yeah, but I can't think of like a logical explanation for, you know, why I have this purpose right now, or like why I'm drawn to this particular thing. So like you have been given this purpose, this gift for a reason. It's to give to the world in some way. When you deny people that offering that you have, it's a tragedy. Some people's purpose is like looking after dogs and then posting that on their Instagram or their TikTok. And do you know how much joy that brings to millions of people across the world? Social media is like normalizing the pursuit of creativity and the pursuit of creativity as a career, you know, as something that's going to bring you financial abundance. That's what I love about social media. It's like exposing the fact that we don't have to follow the typical path. We can literally create our own destiny and be creatives and demonstrate that and like create this value and make money from it and make that our career. You know, there's value that following our purpose has. And when we choose to display that, when we choose to pursue that, when we choose to advertise that, you have no idea the impact that has on people. So not following your purpose is truly a tragedy. Not only for yourself, but the fact that other people can't take value from what you have to give. Authenticity and purpose kind of intersect. By following your purpose, you're becoming more authentic, and by becoming more authentic, you know, you feel more instigated to follow your purpose. So I encourage you and I urge you to be brave and to follow your you know, what truly makes you happy. And it might take a while to like discover what that is. I know that a lot of people don't necessarily know what their purpose is, but just think about what you like doing. That is probably your purpose, you know. Think about what you enjoy doing genuinely. So I suppose being unstuck or becoming unstuck is to start following your purpose. You know, the reason you feel stuck is because you probably aren't following it, or you're resisting following it because there's all these barriers that you perceive to be in place. And I get that, you know, it's not always that easy. You can carry on, you know, living your 9-to-5 life, or you know, doing what you have to do until you can make that purpose your full-time thing, your career, like your life's work. You can still be part of the groups of people who are following the 9-to-5 typical system. You can still be part of that, but in tandem and alongside that, you can be pursuing your purpose, and I think that will make you feel unstuck. I think the only reason why you might be feeling stuck is because you're not pursuing your purpose alongside it. I found that I felt stuck when I was in my corporate job. I was like, this is so depressing. And the times when I had like flickers of feeling like liberated was the times when I would make business plans for my current businesses. I would you know, on my lunch breaks go and like meet with somebody who had some kind of value to give me business wise, or I'd meet with like potential clients. I don't know, like any of those things. Outside of my 9-to-5, I would sort of become less and less stuck by pursuing even small things that were towards my main goal. You're going to feel more unstuck and you're going to feel more liberated when you start to introduce your working on your purpose and working on what truly makes you happy in your life. Final thing I'm going to say is that making a decision is what is going to make you feel unstuck. Making the decision to be like, you know what, I actually want to pursue this is kind of 50% of the way there, because often we can feel paralyzed. I kind of mentioned this at the beginning. We feel paralyzed by like, oh my God, I don't know what decision to make. And that's when we can feel stuck. We can feel like, oh, I don't know what to do. Like, what option do I take? I can assure you now that the universe, despite what decision you make, whatever decision you make, the universe will adjust accordingly, and the universe will always be there for you. You will never be given or tested with anything that you cannot handle. So I would just urge you to make a decision. Even if you're not sure what the right one is for you right now, just make one. And you will feel liberated just in the fact that you've made that decision and you've just called it. I saw this video the other day and it's talking about how people become successful at 21 and like 19 and like make millions and stuff. This guy, his opinion was that these people make decisions 10 times faster than other people, and they kind of liberate themselves 10 times faster than other people because they just make the decision. It might not be the right decision. You know what? It might be the wrong decision. But it doesn't matter, they're going to learn from it anyway, and then they're going to make the right decision anyway. So it's kind of like, it's never a waste of time. It's just never, like, there's no wrong decision. Even if you make the wrong decision in the moment, it's gonna end up either teaching you or blessing you. Like, even if you make the wrong decision, you'll know not to make that decision ever again, which is really valuable. You know, you wouldn't know that if you'd made the right decision. The quicker you make decisions, and not rash decisions, you know, within reason, but the quicker you make decisions, because you kind of know what the right thing is, but you can't bring yourself to make the decision. Like the other day, I was like, you know what, I don't have enough in my budget to go to London. I was gonna go see some friends. And I was like, should I just wait a couple of days, see if the money comes in, and then I'm able to go? Or should I just tell them now and let them know, like let my friends know before they kind of make plans? You know, I think last minute changing of plans is something that I want to avoid doing. So because I'd happened to see that video about making decisions that day, I was like, you know what, I'm just going to let them know that I won't be able to come like a week early. If I had let them know last minute, it probably would have been more inconvenient, more problematic, there would have been more issues. It was better for me to just call it much earlier, even if the money had come in, you know. Making the decision like as early as you can, especially when you already kind of know what you're going to decide, but you're giving yourself more time, like just make the decision. And you will feel liberated, you will feel unstuck, and whatever decision you make will be technically like the right decision. You know, the universe will adjust accordingly. The universe will adjust to whatever you think was the right decision. And especially if you go with your gut and your intuition, it's not going to be the wrong thing. It might feel like it at times, but it won't be. The end goal will be that it was the right thing and that it was the right decision for you to make at that time. So that's it for today, guys. Bit of a discussion video today, and you know, talking about things that are kind of interlinking spirituality with you know, trying to find your purpose and trying to find like what you're truly meant to do, and relieving yourself of the burden of listening to other people, doing what other people tell you to do. You don't have to do any of that. If you have anything to add to this discussion, please comment down in the comment section below. I really want to hear what you guys think about your purpose, getting unstuck, your experiences. You know, it's always really interesting to me. Anyway, with that, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.